Vyrah reporting for duty. Another time together. Let's do some React. Oh my fucking god! I notice how repetitive I can be. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All right. Let me just do my sound check. Yeah. Okay. So let's do some reaction video. Actually, cool stuff. Obviously. All right. Does it work? It's my shortcut. Like, easier for me. Oh my fucking god! I forgot to stream footage. That's fine. I'll recognize. Okay.
Okay, almost there.
Okay, so this the not so expensive guide to baby metal, April 1st, updated April 1st 2026, the latest. A viewer actually suggested that I react to also this documentary. And to be honest, after watching this other documentary about baby metal, I'm like, why not? Because I'm also already immersed. Like I kind of like listen to what made them popular, but like not their latest albums and stuff like that. And basically, like, it's a good chance to actually like immerse myself. But like I learned from like this other like documentary that, for example, they justify the way they act because because they follow because they're guided by the nine-tailed fox, Japanese folkloric animal, basically in Japanese mythology, that is really just wholesome and cool if you understand what it means and how it's like it's really just wholesome, the way they have like some lore and stuff. So yeah, a viewer suggested to me to watch a documentary that is portraying better and in a more detailed way the career of baby metal. So let's check it out. It's been yeah, let's check it out.
Little to the left. There. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to my not so extensive guide to baby metal. This will hopefully be entertaining. However, if it isn't, it will.
Yeah, it must be like, I don't know, like I get the vibe that like my the viewer that like recommended me he knows the good stuff. He knows the good stuff. The viewer that like told me to watch this
Will at least be informative, and if not that, I will be content to know I drained away some of your precious free time. Also, depending on how much further you are in the future, there could be an updated version of this guide linked in the description. Now, with that settled, and without further ado, let's continue. So,
let's go.
You may be asking, or perhaps not, what exactly is a baby metal? Baby metal is a Japanese kawaii metal band. Kawaii meaning cute or adorable.
I really love the presentation. Like, it's so wholesome. Like, it's so fucking cool. Like, I really like just like the interface, like the way it does it. I just needed to fucking say it.
Horrible, and is a subgenre of metal they created.
はい、ベビーメタルの音楽は元から可愛いとメタルの2つを融合した音楽性でやっているんですけど、その音楽性は今もなお変わってないと思っています。
They were formed in 2010, and their name comes from the birth of this new style of metal which fuses Japanese pop with various genres of metal. The three members are Su metal, Moa metal, and Momo metal.
スーメタルです。モアメタルです。モアメタルです。
So when it comes to like naming nomination like this, it seems strange and kind of like sell out on to have like names like this or like uninspired. But actually, like within Japanese culture, it's completely cool and it's basically like kind of like a code where like it's like you really kind of like need to love Japan and like care about Japan in a certain way when it comes to art, because like these are like names that like really at least sound like really generic, right? And actually in Japan like within like their culture, it sounds awesome. Like I cannot even really explain you like word is right, but I'm pretty sure I can get someone to confirm to you. Like it's really like a way to call themselves, and it's the same with like baby metal, like the name of the band. Like it sounds kind of like it has this kind of generic kind of like name, but in Japan like it's a really like a cool way to kind of like speak English. It's like you, maybe I'm wrong about this, but like yeah.
Vye Baby Metal!
They are backed by a group of session musicians known as the Kami Band for live shows. Their discography includes 5 studio albums, a greatest hit album, a large amount of live albums, and DVD Blu-ray releases. Contrary to what many expect, Baby Metal has spent most of their career without creating music for anime and only recently appeared on other artists' tracks, though they did create the opening song for the Western cartoon Unikitty. Baby Metal originally started as a subgroup of Sakura Gakuin, an all-girl Japanese idol group themed around school life and extracurricular activities, which was formed in 2010 by the Amuse Talent Agency. It should be emphasized that Sakura Gakuin was not actually a school, so all the girls still attended a regular school. The group had contained between 8 and 12 members at a time, of whom fell within the ages of 10 to 15 years old.
Yeah, basically, like in Japan, like the idol, you know, like K-pop idols and Korean idols, right? In Japan, idol culture is something as well, and basically, like the idol culture can start really young in Japan, where it's like you just like join and try to make something out of like kind of like singing fashion, like and the whole like idol culture. And some people start really young indeed, like, and it's really a lifestyle like no other. Like these people, they're like wired differently, just because like the idol scene is like really something unique and really precious, really beautiful, like if you know about, but also like with its part of problems. But like some people, they get into it really young in Japan, and basically like it makes them like complete, like kind of like they're they become like completely outsiders because of the way they interact with the people in general. Because basically like idol culture is just like you're basically a celebrity that does like cute stuff and sings, or but like in Japan it's like there's like a difference, and it's way more kind of like thoughtful and like really like a lot, I don't know, appreciated in a different way, I guess. So it's really interesting because like, so basically like the girls, they started like really fucking young in this. Well, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Members would transfer out and go on to other ventures once they graduated junior high school. And leading up to that, they would release an annual studio album and hold a road to graduation concert. Then, new members would transfer into the...
Yeah, because you see like this concert made of like high school girls that just sings like this. In Japan, it's actually like really fucking like well seen, and it's like doesn't like it can like idol culture is everywhere, and it has a form that is really like really fascinating, but also really respecting of the idols themselves, because like but it's just like a culture, kind of like, if you do not know, like, this type of like art, like, and promotion really do not work like outside of Japan. It's really a Japanese thing. Like, I don't know about Korea because they have their idol culture, but like, it's really something. And like what they present right now, it's actually like something that is really like more than just like I don't know, it's a whole culture.
Then, new members would transfer into the group. They had released 11 studio albums, one for each year, up until it disbanded in 2021. Baby Metal was originally formed as the Heavy Music Club by the producer Kei Kobayashi, with the founding members Suzuka, Moa, and the now former member Yui. They released 4 songs under Sakura Gakuin, but only 3 appeared on SG albums in some form. All 3 members also continued to do other SG activities in addition to performing with Baby Metal while they were still members. In 2013, Baby Metal split from SG.
So there were like people already in the art industry and releasing, like, creating like art with other, like, I knew that like they were already kind of like in doing art and stuff, but like I just didn't knew that like they were so pro, like already like so well established, so well established and super professional before Baby Metal. It's actually amazing because like these people, they're mega monsters. Like, what the fuck?
And became an independent act due to Sue's graduation and leaving Sakura Gakuin and the rising popularity of Baby Metal, while Yui and Moa remained in SG until their graduation in 2015. Now let's meet the members of Baby Metal. First off, we have Sue Metal, full name Suzuka Nakamoto, who was born on December 20th, 1997 in Hiroshima, Japan. She has been a performer most her life and was admitted to Actors School Hiroshima at the age of 8, where she also performed with her sister Himeka in a duo called Tween. She was signed by the Amuse Talent Agency in 2007 after becoming a runner-up in an audition held by the company. She was then placed in a...
Yeah, I was talking about like starting young, the idol, like in the idol industry, and like in this art music industry, like kind of like celebrity industry in Japan. But like, goddamn, this is really young.
Group called Karen Girls, which had been formed to sing songs for the anime Zettai Karen Children, and then disbanded when the show had ended. Later in 2010, Sue became one of the founding members of Sakura Gakuin, where she became the lead vocalist of the Heavy Music Club because of her surprisingly powerful vocal ability and unique stage presence for such a young age. She had also become the lead member in SG during her final year, and had a single solo song titled Sakura Iro no Avenue. On Baby Metal's first 2 albums, Sue Metal has 4 solo songs: Akatsuki, Rondo of Nightmare, Amore, and No Rain, No Rainbow. Sue usually takes the leadership role for Baby Metal in most situations, including media appearances. She has worked very hard to improve her English over the years as well.
Very nervous, but after a few songs, the audience react to our singing and dancing. I really wanted to perform there, so I'm very happy that my dream came true.
She also has songs that she sings entirely in English, such as Believing, From Dusk Till Dawn, and the English versions of both Elevator Girl and The One. Her dream was to become both a singer and songwriter, the latter finally coming true when she became the lyricist for their song Divine Attack off their album The Other One, and again with White Flame off of their album Metal Fourth.
This is
Sue
really
has
cool.
spent years expanding her vocal capabilities and has always surprised listeners with her range, even learning to rap specifically for their song BMC. Yet despite her very serious nature when it comes to her role in Baby Metal, and her ability to project a very commanding presence on stage when needed, at her core, She is a girl that is incredibly sweet, goofy, and dorky incarnate, something she often unleashes on stage.
Oh, that's actually like if you saw like their clips and their choreographies, like you can feel the like this goofiness, but like I didn't know that that it was like not like completely personal, a personal trait of character rather than like just like a as personality for this to entertain, you know. This is really awesome.
Next up, we have Moa Metal, full name Moa Kikuchi, born on July 4th, 1999 in Nagoya, Japan. Moa is the shortest member. As I was saying, Moa is the shortest member of Baby Metal, standing at just 5 feet tall. Even today, she struggles with her eternal battle with smallness.
でも、なんだろうな、年齢とか、
smallness.
身長とかの成長とか、あとは環境の変化に合わせて、
Moa started performing at a very young age and was signed by Amuse in 2007 after winning a competition held by the company. In 2010, Moa joined Sakura Gakuin, where she became a member of the Mini Patty Cooking Club, donning the green bandana, the Twinkle Stars Baton Club, and the Heavy Music Club, where she took the role of scream and dance, though it may be best to not take the word scream literally. When Baby Metal split off in 2013, she continued on with SG, and like Sue before her, became the lead member of the group in her final year before she eventually graduated in 2015. During the early years of Baby Metal, Moa was a member of the subunit known as Black Baby Metal with Yui Metal, where they performed 4 songs as a duo: Onidari Daisakusen, Song 4, GJ, and Sis Anger. She was also credited as writing the lyrics to Song 4 together with Yui. It is currently unknown if Black Baby Metal or any of these songs will return now that Momo has joined Baby Metal. Moa does enjoy singing, which she has been doing since she was in Sakura Gakuin, even doing a few special solo performances, such as taking the lead role for their song Headbanger at concerts to celebrate her birthday, and performing several Black Baby Metal songs by herself. However, she has said she has no desire for taking lead, as her passion is for dancing, something she has worked hard mastering, as she had very little experience in it when she joined the group. In fact, her only greater passion may be for food, which she loves, and she is quite determined to make sure this isn't missed by anyone.
I just need to pause. Like this is like the content creator that does this documentary is really a wholesome person. Birth date 8, hometown status kawaii. Isn't that fucking sweet to fucking like leave like a detail like this when you do a documentary? I think it's sweet. I just need to fucking like talk like share it with you.
アイドルのことと、あとやっぱ食べ物が好きなので、
Not eat it, you.
Moa has always been a kind-hearted and loving person, and someone who really enjoys interacting with the crowd so as to better show her love and appreciation for the fans. Apparently that applies to security guards as well. That is, if she isn't bonking them over the head while she continues to fight a losing war against the flag.
This is cute.
Fatality.
Now, onto our newest member.
ガラガラガラガラガラガラガラガラガラガラ
Momo Metal. Full name Momoko Okazaki, who was born on March 3rd, 2003 in Fukuoka, Japan, and she moved to her hometown of Kanagawa at the age of 3. She joined Amuse in 2014 and transferred into Sakura Gakuin in the following year, and like Moa, joined the Mini Patty Cooking Club, except donning the yellow bandana, as well as the Science Logica Club. Momo loves to dance, with her dream once being to become a backup dancer to an artist. Her training started at around the age of 9, becoming skilled in ballet, hip-hop, and jazz. So when she joined SG, she became known as one of their best dancers and even choreographed a dance for the group. She is also the daughter of the famous Japanese comedian, stage name Hanamaru Hakata, and this could explain her sense of humor and all-around goofy nature, as well as her propensity to smile a lot. Like seriously, she seems to love smiling more than breathing. In fact, the perpetual energy generator may no longer be a myth, and its name is Momo. She appears to be a living embodiment of a fusion reactor of joy, spreading happiness everywhere she goes. Momo has also had a modeling and acting career, appearing in commercials and TV shows, as well as making a film debut with Itazura na Kiss in 2016, and even
Damn.
playing Elizabeth Midford in the Black Butler musical in 2017 to 18. Then, in 2018, she graduated SG and left Amuse to transfer to a high school abroad so she could fulfill one of her goals of studying English in a
Just let me just check one thing. Okay.
native-speaking country.
Right. Okay. Let's keep going.
And didn't reappear to the public eye until her appearance at the Taiwanese music festival Super Slipper 10 in August of 2019 as an Avenger, one of the 3 rotating backup dancers for Baby Metal that temporarily filled the empty spot left by Yui's departure from the group, fulfilling her dream to be a backup dancer for an artist. Momo got beyond her expectations and was able to accomplish something she probably thought of as impossible. Her implausible wish came true when on April 1st in 2023, she was finally named Momo Metal. She then proceeded to take her role Scream, literally, bringing her growling into Baby Metal across new and older music, including special performances of Metataro and Headbanger at concerts to celebrate her birthday. Though I am pretty sure Moa was just wishing for reinforcements
That's
against
really
the flag.
cute.
And very rarely do we get everything we want.
Flawless victory.
When Momo had joined Baby Metal, it had been over 5 years since the group had started operating as a duo with just Sue and Moa. Yui Mizuno, formerly known as Yui Metal, had stopped performing with Baby Metal in late 2017 due to an undisclosed health issue and officially retired from the group on October 19th in 2018 with a statement of her decision which also thanked and apologized to her fans and those she worked with. This was the last time.
So this was like a really, really respectful like change of in the band, because like losing a member sometimes like it's really like it becomes like a lot of drama and stuff, and here it's like respectful to the fans and between the different entertainers. It's really cool.
She's been heard from since then, except the brief comments made in the Sakura Gakuin 10th anniversary book. And eventually, Amuse confirmed her retirement from the entertainment industry in September of 2025. Yui had tried out for Sakura Gakuin with Moa at the age of 11 with the song Over the Future from Sue's former group Karen Girls, a song Baby Metal would later perform a cover of at their Legend D concert in 2012. She was a sweet and shy girl who was good at dancing and loved tomatoes. And the music from Sue's former group had inspired her as it helped her endure a family member's life-threatening illness. Throughout their time in SG and Baby Metal together, the 3 girls had regarded each other as family, and that hasn't changed after her departure. Most
That's
importantly,
beautiful.
Sue and Moa has said they supported Yui and respected the decision she made to leave, as well as whatever she chose to do in the future.
What a
message
beautiful
some
story.
of her fans should take to heart. Baby Metal started as a quixotic brainchild of Koba Metal, full name Kei Kobayashi, who has been a
Like, actually, this guy, when I saw, like, actually, this is a fucking legend. Like, it's such a fucking, like, visionary. Like, really, he really, like, had a dream, and, like, he fucking, he tried to try to make it happen, and it happened, and his dream was actually baby metal. It's really, like, just awesome, because like the dude was just like obsessed with a creative idea, and he really got to fucking like have a chance to create it, and since then, well, we know about baby metal, you know.
Producer at Amuse since 1996, he had felt the metal scene in Japan was getting increasingly old and needed a jolt of youth.
Okay, I don't react to many documentaries. Like, talking about like something that like might be in the documentary. Is this considered spoiling? Like, I'm just so over obsessing. Like, but like, yeah.
Youth to jumpstart the genre's popularity again. So, after he was assigned to Sakura Gakuin, he began creating the Japanese pop metal fusion group he had planned. When he had heard Sue singing at the Karen Girls' farewell concert, he was convinced that with her vocal capability, she wouldn't be overwhelmed by a full metal band. So he chose her to be the lead vocalist. Then, to add an idol-like dance aspect, he recruited Yui and Moa, and then began working with Mikiko Mizuno, the choreographer that was assigned to Sakura Gakuin. She had been teaching dance since 19, based on her experience in ballet and street dance. Though she had no experience with the metal genre, she was able to adapt her choreography to the music and has become a key part to baby metal's success since the beginning, as the dancing became integral to the group. When the girls began working on the music, they were truly shocked, as they had never heard metal before and had initially found it to be scary. They had also mistook the devil horns that is often used by metalheads for fox shadow play, something that was then adopted by them. The mistake also became the foundation of the sci-fi fantasy lore that surrounds the band. Lore that is filled with puns, pop culture references and parody, things Koba has a fondness for, and can be quite convoluted.
Yeah, and it's that like it's type like of parodies or stuff like that, that like, or references that are so innocent and so like just like good vibes that like it doesn't matter. Like that's so beautiful. Like you can like do art in the art industry.
So it is impossible to go into too much detail with this video. With that in mind, I will only cover some aspects that commonly come up. An example is that when baby metal introduces themselves, they will use a pun with the English word death instead of the Japanese word des. As des means I am or we are and is pronounced similarly. The fox hand sign they adopted became the inspiration for the fox god, baby metal's fictional god of metal that summoned them. Also,
really
whenever
cool.
there has been a question in an interview they can't or don't want to answer, they have been known to respond with,
Only the fox god knows.
You will see a lot of fox imagery in various aspects of baby metal, including some elaborate set designs they've had over the years. A fan is also referred to as kitsune, the Japanese word for fox, and occasionally magitsune as the female equivalent, while baby metal refers to the whole of the fan base as the one, for which they wrote their song of the same name in tribute to them. They also created the English version because they were touched by all the overseas fans who learned the Japanese lyrics of their songs. Another thing to be aware of is April 1st, also known as Fox Day, which is the official holiday of baby metal. A lot of releases, announcements and concerts happen on or around this day, and you will see it repeatedly appear in their past.
This is
Now
actually
let's
so
discuss
unique.
some of their history and how they reached to where they are today. Early on, with almost no budget due to being a part of a fledgling idol.
This is like this really good, good fucking like marketing for real, because like it takes some just like creativity, but like really interesting.
Baby metal had sourced their clothes from friends and family. They also couldn't afford a live band through their earliest years, performing to backtracks, and later adding a group called Baby Bones, who wore skeleton costumes and danced around while pretending to play the instruments. They eventually made their live debut at the first Sakura Gakuin Festival in November of 2010 with a performance of Doki Doki Morning. The song initially appeared on SG's first album in April of 2011, with an abridged music video released on October 12th, which would spark their first instance of going viral online. It was later that month that it released as Baby Metal's debut single in Japan, with a worldwide release in November. Then in March of 2012, a cover of Doki Doki Morning was released by the band Kiba of Akiba on a collaboration CD single with Baby Metal, where each band would cover each other's song. This led Baby Metal to performing Kiba of Akiba's song Animation with You at many of their early shows. Unsatisfied with only performing at regular SG events, Baby Metal slowly began performing at places like strip malls, small venues, and eventually in August of 2012, they became the youngest performers to ever play at the Summer Sonic Music Festival in Japan. They were on a small stage near the food court usually reserved for people like stand-up comedians, and were a late addition to the lineup with the tickets already sold out, so the girls were worried no one would come see them. However, their music drew a crowd regardless, as many surprised by their performance had stopped eating to watch the curiosity. Then, with their growing popularity online, they had their first performance outside of Japan in November of that year at the Anime Festival held in Singapore. Also in late 2012, on October 6th at their Legendary concert, Baby Metal's live session band known as the Kami Band had made their debut for 2 songs. The band later played their first full sets in May of 2013 at a few concerts in Japan held as a training tour for Baby Metal, though they would only perform intermittently that year, including just half the sets of the Legend 1999 and 1997 concerts that were held to celebrate the girls' birthdays, with Sue celebrating hers by performing an unfinished version of Akatsuki, a piano rendition of the song which was featured on their debut album, simply titled Baby Metal, which was finally released on February 26th of 2014 with 13 songs in total. This was followed shortly after, on March 1st and 2nd, with them performing at the Budokan, a venue that has obtained worldwide fame, with many legendary artists performing there. This also marked a milestone for Sue, as she had dreamed of performing there since she was a little girl. It was also the point where the Kami Band would become a permanent presence for the group. Then after the shows, Baby Metal announced their first world tour, which included the US, the UK, and various other countries in Europe. The album release and the Gimme Chocolate music video going viral online led to what became a major step forward for the band, when they were invited to the UK Sonisphere Festival in 2014, as this would propel them toward being legitimized on an international level. Initially, they had been slated on a small side stage. However, due to the buzz online and a grassroots effort by Baby Metal fans, they were moved up to the main stage of about 50,000 people, which became their first large stage outside of Japan.
Damn.
The girls had initially been worried the crowd would not accept them, as UK festival crowds are notoriously hostile. Most of the people there had no idea who they were and were perplexed at what they were seeing. But by the time Baby Metal were walking off the stage, they were shouting for more. On November 8th of 2014 at Brixton Academy in the UK, they debuted their song Road of Resistance, a song created in collaboration with Herman Lee and Sam Totman of Dragon Force, and it would eventually be released as their first single of their second studio album. Later, on June 15th of 2015, they would attend the Metal Hammer Golden Gods to accept the award for Best Breakthrough Band, where they would also perform Road of Resistance and Gimme Chocolate, both with Dragon Force as their backing band. They had previously performed Gimme Chocolate with Dragon Force a few days before the awards ceremony at the Download Festival in the UK, when Baby Metal crashed the event with an invite by Dragon Force after the event coordinator had rejected the numerous fan requests to invite them by saying that they had no place at download and were only a Japanese fad. Baby Metal's second album, titled Metal Resistance, would release on April 1st in 2016. The international release included the exclusive track From Dusk Till Dawn, while the Japanese version had the song Syncopation instead. The international version would also include the English version of The One instead of its Japanese counterpart. They then kicked off their tour on April 2nd at the Wembley Arena in the UK, becoming the first Japanese band to headline there. This eventually took them back to the Download Festival in the following June, but this time with an official invite and on the main stage. In July of that year, Baby Metal had also made a special appearance at the 2016 Alternative Press Music Awards in the US, where they performed their single Karate.
Damn, they were like, so basically like when they got the chance to actually like do for work for their careers as it became like worldwide and started like doing shows all around the world. Like it's actually like it's really like they're really done so many efforts because like technically they finished school and they got like they created the band Baby Metal, and then they started like to do all the touring that he was talking about. But like can you imagine, like it's a lot of effort and you're really far away from like well, technically everyone, you know, like it's a difficult industry. I'm just like surprised by like, you know, like just after listening to all that, to all the fucking things that they have done by their second album. It's really amazing.
Afterward, Rob Halford of Judas Priest joined them on stage to perform the Judas Priest songs Painkiller and Breaking the Law. They then concluded the world tour with 2 back-to-back shows at the Tokyo Dome, with about 55,000 fans attending each night, and where Sue would troll Moa in front of them. I do wonder if Sue was brave or naive. Throughout the year in 2017, Baby Metal supported various artists as an opening act on their world tours, including Metallica, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Guns N' Roses, Korn and Stone Sour on several of their shows.
Damn.
They then commenced their 5 Fox Festival tour, where they held several shows in Japan with specific audience requirements such as all male, all female, all teenagers, and so on. This tour concluded with the big Fox Festival shows, with the final one on October 15th being the last time Baby Metal would perform as the original trio. Prior to the Legend S concert that was held in December of 2017 to celebrate Sue's 20th birthday, it was announced that Yui was advised by her doctor not to perform at this show. Sue and Moa had considered cancelling it, but Moa knew how important it was to Sue, as it would take place in her hometown of Hiroshima, so they agreed to continue on as a duo. This would also unfortunately become the last show the Kami band member Mikio Fujioka would perform with Baby Metal, as their longtime guitarist passed away on January 5th of 2018 from falling injuries suffered while stargazing. While the Dark Side Law had been planned far in advance of these events, it became truly reflective of the most difficult year for Baby Metal, as Sue and Moa, as well as the fans, tried to adjust to the absence of Yui. Sue and Moa had also discussed quitting after Yui left, but chose to continue on so as to leave open the spot for her if she would return. They also wanted to prove that they could do it themselves, and though it was hard, the struggles had created a stronger bond between them as they learned to rely on each other more. The 2018 tour would see them return to Download again, to a massive crowd, despite the entirety of the tour being a dance formation experiment with additional backup dancers to support Sue and Moa, and even a change in costumes to make them look like elves. And, whatever this is. The following year was an improvement over the last, when in June of 2019, the first major concert of the year was held. With it came the announcement of the Avengers, which would fill the empty spot, restoring the three-person formation fans preferred. They didn't sing nor have a mic, and it was never announced who the three girls were. However, fans at the shows were able to recognize them as Riho Sayashi, formerly of the J-pop group Morning Musume, who is now a solo artist and actress, and Kano Fujihira, previously from Sakura Gakuin, who later joined the J-pop group 1-5, as well as the now current member of Baby Metal, Momoko Okazaki. This would also be the concert that their song Papa Ya, from the album that was coming out later that year, would make its live debut, featuring the Thai rapper F Hero, who appeared personally to perform his part. Then, on October 11th,
That's
Baby
great.
Metal had its first headlining arena show in the US.
They have like so many like by this time, like, can you believe like how many like beautiful collaborations it did as well? Like I didn't knew, but like usually like I think that like it's also because there is a really good vibes as professionals, as artists, because like people don't do all that, you know, like unless you're really like this type of person. But it's just really adorable. So apparently like their personality matches like the way they act completely. Like it's just like, yeah.
Which was held at the Forum in Los Angeles to coincide with the release of their new album, with Momo as one of their Avengers that night. This show would also feature the new Western Kami band.
Like it's all good vibes, goddamn, this story. Like there are like some like that some difficult moments, but goddamn, like this story is only good vibes. Everyone is good vibe, and like what the fuck?
And as Americans were added to the lineup earlier in the tour. The album, titled Metal Galaxy, had 14 tracks on the international release and featured various artists, among them Tim Henson and Scott LePage of Polyphia on the song Brand New Day, and Joachim Broden from Sabaton on O Maginai. The Japanese version of the album also featured 2 exclusive tracks, BMC,
Damn.
which would later be released worldwide as a digital single, as well as Up Down Left Right BBAB, which to this day has never been performed live. In exchange, the international version would feature the English version of the song Elevator Girl. Somehow I think everyone not in Japan got the short end of the stick. By the end of the Metal Galaxy tour, which ended in March of 2020, Momo had become the only Avenger still actively performing with Baby Metal. On October 30th of 2020, Baby Metal was featured on Bring Me the Horizon's track King Slayer. Both bands had been friends since they had met at the Kerrang Awards in 2015 and supported each other ever since, with Baby Metal bringing them on their 2019 tour in Japan. So in honor of that friendship, Bring Me the Horizon wanted them featured on their post-human survival horror EP. Moving into their 10th anniversary, Baby Metal was then invited to Kohaku, NHK's 71st annual television event held on December 31st of 2020. This would be their first time, and the honor of performing at the event is by invitation, and only the most successful Japanese singing acts are invited. It is a big highlight for their career, as it is typically the biggest television event in Japan.
Oh damn.
Starting in January of 2021, Baby Metal would perform once again at the Budokan. They held 10 shows from January to April to celebrate their 10th anniversary, as well as the final chapter of the Metal Resistance era. And all 10 shows featured all 10 songs off the best of album they released, as well as the return of some fan favorites that hadn't been performed in years. On October 11th, Baby Metal released a piano rendition of The One, titled Stairway to Living Legend, and with it they announced their hiatus by saying that they were going to be sealed from the world. Baby Metal then went dark without any appearances, and it caused many to speculate over the following months that Baby Metal had ended. Meanwhile, leading up to the hiatus, Momo appeared on Girls Planet 999, a Korean reality show to compete to become a K-pop idol for a new group. She introduced herself by playing Blackpink on a kazoo. I think we are all very grateful she was never serious about winning this competition. Some of the speculation of Baby Metal's disbandment was alleviated when on April 1st of 2022, Baby Metal revealed the Other One Restoration Project, which proceeded to slowly release snippets of new songs over the months leading up to the October announcement of a new album, a return concert in 2023, and the release of their first single, Hey Wait, doesn't that look like Momo? Nah, it could just be me seeing things. On January 28th and 29th of 2023, Baby Metal held their concerts signifying their return, with Momo once again appearing as the Avenger. During these concerts and the performance of Doki Doki Morning would mark the first time 3 unnamed performers would appear from the Metalverse, a multiverse of parallel worlds. This new trio then proceeded to perform the song with Baby Metal while in a mirror formation to them. These concerts would also be the last time to date that we would see the Eastern members of the Kami band perform with Baby Metal. Then at the end of the concerts, there was an indication that Baby Metal would finally get a long-awaited third member, and caused a spiral of debates online about who it would be, though I think it's likely Momo. On March 10th, Baby Metal made their first appearance on The First Take, a YouTube channel where artists would perform a song of theirs in only one attempt. They chose a special piano rendition of Monochrome, a single off their album, The Other One, that then released on the 24th and was the final album they released as a duo. The next set of concerts took place on April 1st and 2nd, and as a rendition of theirs in only one take, a YouTube channel where that then released a song made first appearance on The First Take.
I'll actually keep this up. Like, I want to check this out. Okay, let's keep going.
A YouTube channel where artists would perform a song of theirs in only one attempt. They chose a special piano rendition of Monochrome, a single off their album, The Other One, that then released on the 24th and was the final album they released as a duo. The next set of concerts took place on April 1st and 2nd, and the first day would proceed to cause panic and anxiety among concert attendees as it repeatedly talked about the death and end of Baby Metal. While the new trio of girls did not replace Baby Metal, they did make an appearance again at both of these concerts when they performed karate alongside them. Then at the end of the first night, the long-awaited new member was announced. Momo had said she was anxious going into these concerts as she was worried that Baby Metal fans wouldn't accept her, and all 3 of the girls were relieved as the cheers erupted. Sue and Moa had determined that the chaos of only 2 members had to end for them to continue on, and decided that the only way forward for Baby Metal was as a trio with Momo, and were incredibly grateful she was willing to take on the burden of joining a group with such a long-established history. So they decided to put an end to the old Baby Metal and re-establish the group with the 3 of them. With the death and end of the old Baby Metal came the beginning of an all-new Baby Metal, and with it a newly revised logo. From the end of these 2 concerts, they would then venture into the Metalverse for their new story arc that would replace the previous 10-year-long Metal Resistance. The new tour would then kick off with them supporting Sabaton on their European tour, something that was announced in 2022, which makes me wonder why people were so worried during the concert. On August 18th, they released a new single titled Metali, featuring Tom Morello, which would be the first song ever released as the new Baby Metal. They would go on to perform it live with their return to Summer Sonic as the headliner of the mountain stage. This was also the festival that the mysterious trio would return once again, after their appearances at the Baby Metal concerts earlier in the year. The new kawaii metal group were named Metalverse, and was another brainchild of Koba, and this name will never cause any confusion at all, ever. Instead of the 3 members they had as they mirrored Baby Metal, there were now 5, and performing their own music. Then Baby Metal went on to their North American part of the tour when the unthinkable happened. Someone threw something at them, a bracelet, which Moa happily accepted, and started a chain reaction of gifts thrown at them through the rest of their tour, and created a new tradition
Wow.
among fans that has lasted until this day.
Wow.
Then
This
beginning
is
on
so
October
wholesome.
31st, a
This is so
musical
kawaii.
festival called Next Fest was held in Japan by Bring Me the Horizon, and Baby Metal performed there in support of them. On all 4 days of the event, the 2 bands finally performed the song Kingslayer together. Then, through 2024, it became obvious that Baby Metal was going to focus on collaborations for the time being, including being featured on the songs of other artists. This led to an increase in momentum internationally, notably after they released the song Ra-Ta-Ta-Ta in May with the German metalcore band Electric Callboy. Both performed it live together later that month at Baby Metal's first ever Fox Fest, a festival held in Japan as a way to pay it forward to other artists, among them Polyphia, Metalverse, and Bill Murray. Nope, not that one. This Bill Murray. In 2025, Fox Day came with an announcement of a celebration of their 15th anniversary as well as a release date for their, 4th studio album titled Metal Fourth.
Damn.
Then led into their first arena.
I actually like, so basically like I watched another documentary, but like really this documentary like really makes me want to discover like all the work that they did since then, because like I only know like the ones that like are known by everyone. Like it's really like this content creator is so skilled to just like make you vibe about like fucking Baby Metal. I really like this type of like the pace of his documentary.
Tour in Europe beginning
It's
in
been 37 minutes though. What the fuck?
May, with them becoming the first Japanese artist to headline the O2 Arena in London. This concert would feature a performance with Poppy of their single From Me to You. She would be one of various different artists off their latest album that would perform with them through 2025. This 5th studio album was released on August 8th, with 7 of its 10 tracks being collaborations, among them Slaughter to Prevail, Spirit Box,
I am Poppy.
as well as Polyphia with a sequel to Brand New Day.
Damn.
The tour for their Metal Fourth album would take them back to North America in November for an arena concert in the US, as well as their first arena concert in Mexico. The celebration of their anniversary culminated with the release of a new version of their song Headbanger, as well as a tournament to vote for the top 15 songs, the results being revealed at the Legend Metal Fourth concerts in January of 2026, which ended their world tour. Many of these likely voted on to get songs they haven't performed in years to return, though part of that was fulfilled at those same concerts when the long-awaited songs Catch Me If You Can and Our Dama Fever returned together, along with Elevator Girl, as a part of a medley. Let's hope these 2 songs return as a part of their regular set list. The deluxe edition of Metal Fourth was then announced on the 10th anniversary of Fox Day in 2026, as well as a tour across Europe and the Americas, including a special stadium concert in Mexico. Now, as we once again reach the anniversary of the new Baby Metal, this guide comes to a close. It's been a long road for them over these past 15 years, with so many events and happenings that I couldn't possibly cover them all.
Yeah, damn, 15 years though. Like this Baby Metal didn't make me feel that like it's a 15-year-old Ben. Like,
So I've chosen to focus on what feels most relevant to the current state of baby metal. With Momo joining Sue and Moa, it really feels like they've relaxed over the past few years and seem to be having more fun than ever before. So I look forward to seeing what new paths they tread in the future, and hope that maybe they will retrace some of the steps they've already taken. And maybe one day, if it is necessary, I will make another update to this guide.
this is
Until
awesome. A Fox song, subscribe and leave a like. What a fucking awesome content creator. Thank you to the viewer who suggested me to check this out. Like, was really worth it. God damn. All right. Next on. Okay, Star Fox Direct happened really not too long ago, and technically I tell myself, okay, Star Fox is like a beautiful franchise technically, but like I am not someone that actually has the time or like the motivation to actually like discover it, right? Play it. So I'm telling myself, maybe like out of curiosity, like will this Star Fox Direct will be able like motivate me to actually buy this game to check this out, because I know like it's not completely bad or anything. It's just like it's just not my type of gaming. So let's check this out. Star Fox Direct from Nintendo. So yeah.
Hello everyone, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. Last month, we released the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which was enjoyed by many people around the world. To everyone who saw it in theaters, thank you very much. The movie features a certain character who isn't part of the Super Mario series.
Why is a princess trying to go to the most dangerous place in the galaxy? Who are you? Don't ask me personal questions.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't.
Wait, what the fuck? They want to fucking like do a Smash Bros. Melee, but like with like movie? Like it look like if they're able to fucking like, because the Mario movies are awesome. Like if you never watched a Mario movie, check this out. It's really a fun time. It's just a fun time, you know, like but like if they had like if it becomes like Smash Bros like but like in movies, like I don't know if they can make it as fun as the Mario movies, like will be fucking awesome.
Fox McCloud, leader of the legendary Star Fox team. I only care about three things: keeping the Lilat system safe, fighting with my buds, and doing extremely dangerous barrel rolls. Let's go! Then one day, my warp drive exploded, blew a giant hole in the fabric of space and time, and I got sucked into a different universe. That's what I get for making a frog my engineer. Now I roam your galaxy, trying to find a way home. Doing good when the price is right. Oh, I also have cool space boots.
Now that's the backstory of the guy who's going to take us to the space junk galaxy.
That's right, the main character from the Star Fox series, Fox McCloud, makes an appearance. Now, Fox and his wingmen return in their own Nintendo Switch 2 game. This game is called Star Fox. And now, I'll pass it over to Koizumi-san. Koizumi-san.
This is such a cool fucking introduction. They did some marketing like through like the Mario Bros movie for their Star Fox game. Like, this is so meta. What the fuck?
Hello, everyone. I'm Yoshiaki Koizumi. From here on, I will be your host for this presentation. Star Fox is based on the Nintendo 64 game Star Fox 64, but the visuals have been completely updated. All of the characters in the game have also been redesigned. All right, let's take a look.
Okay, so basically it's the classic game that is like made for like modern gaming. Like, let's check this out. This is really pretty.
Atmospheric entry complete. Extend the wings. G-diffuser systems check. Sound off, team.
Slippy here. So far, so good.
This is Peppy. All systems go.
Falco here. G-diffuser seems fine. Let's go already. Enemy targets up ahead. Let's rock and roll!
What you're seeing is footage of the game in action. While stage layouts have been kept the same, the visuals have received a major upgrade.
Slippy, stay.
On Nintendo 64, there were like barely any fucking details, but like it looks pretty, it looks smooth, and I don't know, it looks like so they kept the arcade part of the game, which is really interesting. Arcade games are like really something else, and something that like we don't have enough, you know.
Information.
Banter between characters is also back.
Now you've done it, Slippy. Bogey on your tail.
Cover me while I fine-tune my sensors. Oh, you got him? Thanks, Fox.
We need your help, Star Fox.
Hey there, General. You seem a little on edge. But as it happens, my team's
This is Fox McCloud, leader of the Star Fox Mercenary Squad.
Prep the R-Wings. We've got a job to do, Star Fox. We're gonna take the system back from Andross, one planet at a time.
Falco Lombardi is their ace pilot and Fox's rival.
Sounds perfect. There's no way Andross would expect us to launch an assault there. You up for another challenge, Fox?
Scans are showing unidentified energy emanating from within. Slippy Toad is the team's engineer extraordinaire. Incredible! Do you realize how rare it is to experience a stable warp channel? Did you see the distortions?
That base is the gateway to the wider system, Fox.
And Peppy Hare is their strategic mastermind and veteran pilot.
Dance into enemy space. Just this.
Let me just check something real quick. Okay.
Quick and hit them hard.
The fate of the Lilat system rests squarely on their shoulders. The R-Wing is a high-performance aerospace fighter piloted by Fox and his crew. It's equipped with a laser. It can also fire charged shots or launch bombs that cover a wide area. The R-Wing can brake, boost, do a barrel roll to repel enemy fire,
do a barrel,
and even somersault. Besides the R-Wing, an agile ground assault vehicle called the Landmaster
Oh yeah, because like Star Fox, like actually there were like tank battles and stuff. It's actually like made me actually like I was saying like can this Nintendo Direct like make me want to buy Star Fox? Actually, when you add the tank battles, actually seems like, and it looks like really pretty. Look at this.
And a modified exploratory submersible called the Blue Marine can also be piloted, depending on the mission.
Okay, I care way less for a submarine, gotta be honest.
Impressive work, Star.
The campaign will take you to diverse planets as you seek out the enemy's stronghold to restore peace in the Lylat system. Corneria is a planet teeming with life and the beating heart of the system. Ficina is a frozen planet with most of its surface covered in ice and snow.
Get your own target, Fox.
Solar is the Lylat system's scorching hot second star. And Zones is a deserted, polluted ocean planet that was stripped of all its natural resources.
Cool your jets, Cat.
There's also an asteroid field to navigate.
Persistent laser tech!
And the inside of a nebula. From planet surfaces to outer space, a variety of stages await. With free-flying dogfights in all-range mode.
Unit, don't let anything through.
And massive boss battles. You can look forward to intense aerial combat.
We did it. All units, disengage.
Depending on the objectives you complete, the number of enemies shot down, and other factors, the route you take through the system may change. Replay
This is
stages
really pretty.
with a different approach to find ways
like
through that are off the beaten path.
The art direction they took.
better be
It
right
looks
about
fresh.
this, Falco.
Like it looks fresh. It looks like
You worry about your own.
Plenty of new cutscenes have also been added. These include never-before-seen mission briefings between stages, allowing you to learn more about the characters and the Star Fox universe.
Fall in, team. How are we doing?
You can choose between easy, normal, and expert difficulty settings. When playing on easy difficulty, your shield gauge will be longer, and your lasers will remain powered up, making it ideal for novice pilots. In challenge mode, you can replay stages you've already cleared. Complete a variety of objectives that bring new challenges to each mission that you won't find in the campaign.
Defend the Allied fleet! Don't let any of them pass us!
Break through! We'll find out who's coordinating this attack.
Take on these challenges on either normal or expert difficulty. Battle mode puts you in 4 versus 4 dogfights. Players are split between Team Star Fox and Team Star Wolf, then compete to earn the most points by clearing missions and taking down foes.
Yeah, I'm not sure that like the online will function, but like they thought about online, which is actually surprising. Doesn't look like completely like could be good fun.
You can select from 3 stages, each with its own rule set. Take out opponents and seize control of the zone around the satellite towers on Corneria.
Star Fox completed the objective.
Collect as many energy crystals as you can while dodging meteorites on Ficina. Or retrieve cargo from space pirates and take it to your base in Sector Y.
Star Fox completed the objective.
You can create private matches with your friends online, or match up with random players from around the world, making for a variety of ways to join team battles. Plus, if one person has the game, up to 4 players can take to the skies locally with GameShare.
Oh, this is cool.
Or online using GameShare via GameChat. By holding your Joy-Con 2 controller like a mouse, you can seamlessly swap to mouse-controlled targeting for intuitive aiming and steering.
Oh, this is cool. This is actually cool. What the fuck?
Now you've done it, Slippy. Bogey on your tail.
By sharing one of the Joy-Con 2 controllers with a second player, you can split pilot and gunner duties in co-op.
Okay, this is cool.
Area City now. Andros sure has trashed the place.
I'll target the lights on the left. You guys go right.
It's a trap. Take him down. Don't crawl back under your rock. A swarm of lowly flies. Get ready, team. We're approaching Venom airspace.
What did you think? As you just saw, Fox & Company have a more animal-like design in this game. Reborn exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2 system, Star Fox launches June 25th.
Okay.
By the way, this game also supports character avatars, which let you change your face in game chat to look like a character. Like this. How do I look?
What the fuck? This is cool, but like...
It doesn't just capture your head movement.
Okay, this is cool, but like at this point, like, okay, but what's the point? No, I mean, like, it's like the game, there's like a game and it's a game that is complete, but like at the same time, it's like, on this one, could have fucking like gone without like my like head control, like through camera, looking like Star Fox. Like on this one, pretty sure like we could have compromised and like not have that. But like if it's on top of everything else, I mean, fine. It was just like really surprising. Like you can do that. Well, okay, well, cool. That's cool. But like, what the fuck?
But your mouth movement?
What? I mean, yeah, it is really like awesome. Like, why?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And your eyebrow movement as well. If you have a compatible USB camera, please give it a try. When using character avatars to look like a Star Fox character, friends playing other games can also see your new look.
What the
but
fuck?
This game also supports the Nintendo 64 controller. Those who played the Nintendo 64 version can enjoy controls that feel even closer to the original.
Oh,
Since
that's
its debut
cool.
on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, the Star Fox series has had a long legacy on Nintendo platforms. Along that journey, it set out for adventure. And join the battle in the Super Smash Bros. Series.
I actually had this game, never finished it. I was lost, but like, it's an okay game. It's gonna like really a whatever game.
And join the battle in the Super Smash Bros. Series. We're grateful that you've continued to support the series for more than 30 years. If you've never experienced the series before, we hope you'll give Star Fox a try. Finally, we'll finish this presentation by sharing the game's prologue, which depicts a past battle involving James McCloud, father of the protagonist Fox. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Come in, Star Fox. This is Corneria Defense Force Headquarters. Do you read?
Loud and clear. James McCloud here, General. Star Fox is on approach to Venom. No indications yet of any suspicious activity. We'll let you know what we find.
Proceed with caution. You're the first to set eyes on that place in years. And thank you for accepting this mission, James. You're the only one I can trust.
General Pepper, do you read me? Something's jamming long-range comms. Stay sharp, team.
Are you seeing this, James? According to my instruments, the atmosphere is highly toxic.
And we're doing this job for next to nothing? We're supposed to be mercs, not chumps.
There's more at stake here than our bottom line, Big Mouth.
Yeah, sure.
General Pepper says his people have detected signs of activity on Venom's surface. He's concerned it has something to do with Dr. Andross.
It's been years since Andross was banished here, James. If the atmosphere is poisonous...
All the more reason to figure out what's going on. Dr. Andross made mistakes, and he paid the price for them. But whatever else he is a genius. Maybe he found a way to survive.
Our leader. Such a bleeding heart.
Damn, it's kinda dark though. Like, it's cool, but like, didn't expect it this dark.
Defensive formation! Pigma, where are you going?
It's like you told me. I'm getting into formation.
You two-timing swine!
What can I say? My new boss pays better.
Corneria must suffer. Death to all who stand in the way of my vengeance.
Was that Dr. Andross?
Don't let them escape!
I can't shake him.
Hey, Peppy! Catch!
James!
Peppy, are you there? Come in, Peppy. Do you read me? I'm losing altitude. Peppy, you need to get out of here. Warn the general.
Not without you, James.
That's an order. And Peppy, keep an eye on Fox.
Damn, it's actually kinda dark. Like it's cool dark. Okay, so the bet of make me wanna buy the game actually failed. Like, this will not actually like make me spend like my time or my money on this game. Like, but I think that like if you're a fan of Star Fox, like this is actually an awesome game. Like, they really took the time to fucking present it. Like the aesthetic, the art direction seems to be really inspired, and for people who are attached to Star Fox, I'm pretty sure like it's a really fucking beautiful news, you know, because like the game itself is arcadey, so like it's basically kind of like some other like racing game in certain ways. Like, if you get me, if you understand like what I mean by arcade, and basically the thing is that like this gameplay is really like you cannot miss, you know, like not as Nintendo, and you cannot miss to make it fun. So this part is like already cleared, but like the story part is actually really cool. And then for some reason, like you can have your avatar that moves. Like, I mean, they can, but like, again, why the fuck would you do that? But like, it's still cool, but like. And it's kind of dark, like it's kind of like I like it. If you're a Star Fox fan, like I'm happy for you. Like, sadly, I'm not. Okay. I just need to check. Okay. Okay, the crazy differences in the Chinese version of WoW. Actually, leave a like and share, subscribe to in Necro War. He actually does like really cool documentaries about WoW. Like, it's awesome content. Share the love. The crazy differences in the Chinese version of WoW. So basically, China has like certain laws and certain things that like made it so when Blizzard started to sell World of Warcraft, they needed to change the game in some ways, respectful of like the Chinese government directives, right? Like policies, right? And basically because of that, like the Chinese version is an isolated version, but at the same time that has like some completely like crazy differences, like really like true game-changing differences to some, I believe, I think. But like, I'm really curious, so let's check it out.
It just so happened that the Chinese version of Warcraft has a number of differences from the global version. This is expressed in various aspects of the game. Quests, rewards, character models, and even the game subscription system can differ. Today I want to tell you about some rather curious features of the Chinese version of Warcraft. Let's start with the most basic. Many have heard about the Chinese censorship of game models. This is due to the fact that Chinese regulators try to ensure that in various works, from anime to games, the theme of blood and death is softened. And since a product needs to pass through these regulators to enter the Chinese market, creators are forced to censor various aspects of their creations. For example, for this very reason, the blood of characters in some anime works might not be red but white, which in some moments can look, frankly speaking, strange. World of Warcraft was no exception. Blizzard developers had to work hard to make Warcraft, where the theme of death plays a significant role in the plot, able to enter the Chinese market. Because of this, a whole range of game models was replaced or changed, and even in places where an ordinary player shouldn't even be looking. I think many have heard that in the early version of Karajan, you could find several creepy rooms with hanging corpses and a pile of skeletons. These parts of Karajan didn't make it into the release version of Warcraft, but even they had to be edited just in case to avoid problems with regulators. Somewhere, a mountain of skeletons turned
Okay, I didn't expect that like Chinese censorship is about like softening death and violence. It's actually really fascinating.
Into just a mound of dirt. Somewhere, extra bodies were removed. The undead race also got hit hard. After all, they are effectively reanimated corpses. Parts of models where bones were visible gained flesh. By the way, flesh and meat that could be encountered as random decoration changed color. It turned from red to green. Skulls were removed on many models. This was especially noticeable in Wrath of the Lich King, and this even concerned small details that not even every player from the global version of Warcraft paid attention to. For example, at Icecrown Citadel, there is a place where the floor texture consists of skulls and bones of fallen creatures. In the Chinese version of the game, this is missing altogether. The floor just has a regular grey-blue texture. Sindragosa, literally the character we meet in the expansion trailer, suffered from model changes. She is a reanimated skeletal dragon. Her model was replaced simply with a blue dragon model. Similar changes affected a couple of other skeletal dragons. Those who remember the login screen of Wrath of the Lich King might wonder, how is Sindragosa shown there? Did she also turn into a regular blue dragon with flesh? No, Blizzard went a much cunning route. In the Chinese version of the Wrath of the Lich King login screen, Sindragosa doesn't fly in at all. Not after a minute, not after 2, not after 10. She just isn't there. And I think this isn't the worst solution to the problem. I think the login screen would look much stranger if a blue dragon were there instead of Sindragosa. The Shadowlands expansion, which is largely connected with the theme of death and the afterlife, also got hit by censors. Bones were either completely or partially removed from many models. Characters became softer. Bony characters gained flesh. Speaking of skeletons, when a player dies, after some time, a skeleton appears at the spot of their body. How did Blizzard get around this problem? Instead of skeletons, a small grave appears at the spot of players' bodies. This looks especially epic when some massive PvP brawl occurs or players try to kill a difficult world boss. The whole ground literally lies in hundreds of graves.
Oh, this is...
And I confess honestly,
this is actually worse. This is actually
it
worse.
looks pretty epic. Censorship that discourages the theme of death and murder extends not only to game models, but even to quests. In general, one can understand why, since essentially it is one and the same theme for Chinese censors. Death Knights, creations of Arthas, and the forces of death got hit pretty hard. Their entire history and quest chain are somehow connected with killing enemies in the name of the dead, committing terrible atrocities. In some quests, the wording in the Chinese version of the game was softened. For example, in one of the first Death Knight quests, we need to free a prisoner and then kill him. The quest states that knights experience an eternal hunger that brings them unbearable pain. To get rid of it, one must kill someone. If the global version says, I quote, kill and the pain will cease, then in the Chinese version, this phrase is omitted altogether, and the emphasis is placed on the fact that one needs not to kill the enemy, but to defeat them. There is a much more interesting example in Cataclysm.
So a lot of
the
details.
Undead captured a significant part of Hillsbrad, and many residents ended up in a grim death camp. Some peasants are buried in the ground up to their heads. The quest says that ghouls periodically pounce on human heads and devour them. And we are offered a choice: either save the peasants by digging them out of the ground with a shovel, or finish them off with the same shovel. In the Chinese version, the description that ghouls pounce on human heads is removed, and the quest description is shorter and softer. To be fair, such censorship does not concern all quests by far. In some, the theme of death, blood, and murder is described quite normally, but such curious abbreviated quests still have a place.
That's interesting.
Okay, with the peculiarities of game models and censorship, I think everything is more or less clear. Let's talk about more general differences. There is the familiar subscription system for Warcraft. We can buy a subscription for 1 month on the Blizzard website and play World of Warcraft all this time. Previously, you could avoid setting up a subscription and just buy game time for 30 days straight away. In China, however, there used to be an option to buy game hours. I assume this was due to the fact that gaming cafes were quite popular in China. Unlike a home computer, where you can play as much as you want, in computer clubs, you're limited. And it is quite inconvenient to set up a monthly subscription if you can only play when you are in such an establishment. And that might be only a few times a week. Moreover, in a club, you already pay money for the opportunity to play. Specifically for the Chinese region, the opportunity appeared to play the game by the hour. The system constantly changed, and how many hours were available to players changed. Initially, there was an opportunity to buy 4,000 minutes of play, which cost 30 yuan, or about 6 cents per hour at that time. Note that 4,000 minutes is specifically game time, not real time. That is, in theory, 4,000 minutes could be stretched out even for a month. In 2014, they decided to change the system a little. Instead of 4,000 minutes, an opportunity appeared to buy 2,700 minutes of play, or 45 hours. At that moment, it cost approximately 9 cents per hour. Or you could buy 1,350 minutes, or 22.5 hours. That is already about 11 cents per hour. There were other options, but they are not important to us right now. What is important is that at some point, the system began to outlive its usefulness. Many people acquired home computers, and the need to visit internet cafes simply disappeared. Plus, apparently, the Chinese localizer, NetEase, didn't really like the hourly payment system. Therefore, in 2016, they decided to close up shop. Hourly payment faded into oblivion, and the usual subscription system, just like in other regions of the world, took its place. In theory, those who play Warcraft a lot ended up winning, but the conditional casuals who log in a couple of times a week to do story quests and run through dungeons a bit turned out, on the contrary, to be the losers from this change. By the way, regarding the game, there are restrictions in the Chinese region for those who have not reached the age of 18. And this concerns not only Warcraft, but a bunch of online games. Moreover, from time to time, the restrictions were tightened. For example, in 2021, there was news about intentions to limit online gaming time to 1 hour on certain days of the week. And in 2025,
Damn.
news flashed that players would only have access to 15-16 hours of play during the month of school holidays. I don't know how effectively all this works in practice, and I don't want to get into this topic. I just want to note how this manifests in World of Warcraft. There are system notifications in the game about restrictions applied to the account if a player plays Warcraft for too long. At least until 20v20, a player could play calmly for 3 hours. If they played longer than 3 hours, restrictions began to apply. The amount of experience and money received was cut in half. If a player played more than 5 hours, the restrictions became even more brutal. The player no longer received.
When they started designing World of Warcraft, like they wanted to actually like discourage like people doing playing too much as well in the Western markets. But like technically they gave up because like it was like a version of fatigue, basically. Like you get less XP, but like not money though. Like you will just get less XP, but they changed it after a while.
Loot, experience, or could complete quests until they took a break from the game. Another interesting difference between the Chinese version and the global one is exclusive mounts, pets, donations, and even game modes. About a month ago, I talked about how in China, there are several exclusive pets that were available through special promotions. In other regions of the game, obtaining these pets was physically impossible. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Take the Swift Spectral Tiger, an extremely rare mount. It could be obtained using a rare collection.
Yes, that's why it's rested XP at ends and cities. Yeah. Hey Tarek, how was your day, friend?
Collectible card. Even now, the cost of the mount on various exchanges can reach impressive values, and the number of players who manage to get this mount is minimal, since cards with it are extremely rare. In the Chinese region, the Spectral Tiger could be obtained by buying a 6-month bundle during Classic Burning Crusade, and in 2024, in honor of the 20th anniversary of Warcraft, the mount could be obtained by buying another exclusive Classic bundle with various goodies. And now, in honor of the Lunar New Year, the localizer decided to stir up some major event where players can team up, earn special points, and receive boxes as a reward from which the Spectral Tiger, Love Rockets, and several other cool exclusive mounts or toys can drop. One of the toys literally places a small statue on the ground around which a golden dragon coils. Other players can jump onto this statue. And this is just the beginning. At the end of 25, players in China could participate in an event where they could obtain several Panther mounts with the ability to customize them further. And in honor of this event, a 2-minute animated trailer was literally released. Honestly, I wasn't ready for this, and I don't even know how to comment on it. But that's not all. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Besides customizable mounts, players could receive the first flying mount with vendors. It is a sort of Deathwing-like dragon around which 2 small dragon whelps fly. One is a vendor with the ability to repair armor, the second is a flying mailbox. All these rewards were shoved into a special gacha.
It's a fucking flying mount? Wait, what the fuck?
Armor, the second is a small dragon whelps fly. One is a vendor with the ability to repair armor, the second is a flying mailbox.
A flying mailbox and a flying repair? Still pew-pewing my way in Star Wars. There's a lot of baddies and droids to kill around here. I'll protect the galaxy then. Like, what the fuck? Did you heard? So basically, like, see this mount? See the 2 little dragons? It's a repair and a fucking mailbox. But it's a flying mount. We don't have this even like now. What the fuck? Because it's a flying mount.
One is a vendor with the ability to repair armor, the second is a flying mailbox. All these rewards were shoved into a special gacha-like system with the loot boxes. I didn't really understand how it works, but that's not the point. Quite a few people from other regions of the game, when they saw what was happening in China, were surprised to put it.
Yes, I am listening. Much cooler than the Brontosaurus. I hate this mount. Like, for real. Like, this mount, like, no.
Mildly, and far from everyone was happy. Their version began to diverge too much from the global one, and as if the game is moving in the wrong direction, examples of exclusive rewards could be cited for a long time, but I think you got the general gist. There is stuff there that is absolutely inaccessible to players from other countries. This doesn't exist in other regions of the game, I assume, because the community would perceive such donation options with hostility, but in the Chinese region, this is acceptable. Let's now talk about differences in modes and PvE content. A few months ago, it became known that a new, exclusive mode, Titan Reforged, would become available to Chinese players. One of the main features of this mode is an attempt to combine Classic, Burning Crusade, and Wrath of the Lich King into a single whole. Bosses of Classic and BC will be raised to level 80. The same will apply to raids and dungeons, something like a massive scaling of the old game world. Also in this mode, requirements for reputations and professions are greatly simplified, and some engineering items can be used without learned and leveled engineering. In short, they have a whole new and unusual mode. Will it ever appear on other game servers? Only time will tell. But okay,
I don't think so.
mode. But what is unusual on regular game servers? In 2012, a curious piece of info slipped through that players in the conditional European or American region get slightly different items dropping than in regions not only of China, but of Asia in general. This became known from an interview with Ion Hadzikostas conducted by the Top Guild Method. Already in Pandaria, an item upgrade system appeared. For example, a conditional chess piece could have 4 upgrades, each of which slightly increased the item level and stats. A player from conditional Europe would get an item of level 496 with 0 upgrades, dropping from a boss in a raid. At the same time, a player from Asia would get the same item, but already with 2 upgrades, and its level was not 496, but immediately 504. That is, ultimately, if players upgrade the item to the maximum, 4 out of 4 upgrades, the item will be identical in both level and stats. But players from Asia had slightly better starting conditions, and the difference was no less than 8 item levels. However, the higher item level was compensated by slightly more difficult bosses. Bosses in Asia dealt 8% more damage to players and had 8% more HP. This moment was later.
Well, this is interesting because, like, at first you're like, it's kind of weird. Why would they do that? You know, like favoritism, but like, who the fuck cares about like giving like 3 upgrades in a raid? But like in exchange of 8% more HP and 8% more damage from the bosses, this is actually a fair trade, but like it's really cool and strange.
Recalled during the progress race in the siege of Orgrimmar, when unexpectedly for everyone, a Chinese guild managed to be the first in the world to clear the raid in 10-man heroic difficulty. Speaking of raids, there is such a thing as the Hall of Fame for the Horde or Alliance, into which get 100 guilds that manage to be the first to defeat the final raid boss on mythic difficulty. This is quite an honorable achievement, which I think few would refuse to receive. The Chinese Hall of Fame had a problem. Far from all guilds got into the Hall of Fame through their honest and hard work. It is quite possible that they simply gave money and possibly accounts to more experienced players so that they would clear the raid on Mythic for them and they would get the achievement. The Chinese localizer decided to clean up the Hall of Fame and punish unscrupulous players. They literally started calling some raiders and asking them various questions. For example, one player, I assume a multi-boxer, was asked why his 8 characters were participating in the raid simultaneously, to which he replied that he just plays well. After that, he was issued a ban. Other players were asked trickier questions and asked about the mechanics of the fight.
Yeah, I mean, like when you aim for like world first, like it's kind of like trying to fucking scam a Blizzard Activision. On this level, it's really difficult, and they really have like ways to track like fights and stuff like that and data in WoW that is like really precise. So that's kind of funny because each time it's like you can maybe people don't really understand it, but like Blizzard Activision, the GMs and stuff, these people, they don't fuck around. They really can fucking see everything from your characters, your account, and what you did and stuff like that. So for the world first, like some people trying to fucking like for example, like the glitches and stuff like that, they always caught them. Always did.
No boss, Denathrius. Obviously, if a player is in a good guild and got into the top 100, it would not be a problem for them to tell what happens in this or that phase of the battle. But unscrupulous players are unlikely to cope with this. Therefore, when the localizer called suspected players, some cracked, which confirmed that they got into the Hall of Fame, certainly not by their own efforts. 16 guilds were removed from the Alliance Hall of Fame in this way, and players not only lost the honorary reward, but also received short-term bans. I think these measures are just a drop in the ocean. Those who wanted to buy rewards or a place in the Hall of Fame will do it one way or another, just maybe less obvious.
Okay, this was a really cool and entertaining video. I actually didn't knew about like Chinese censorship, and I didn't thought that like it was about softening death to make like games less violent. It's really fascinating. Thank you, Nico Roar. Leave a like, subscribe to him if you like this content. Share the love, you know. All right. Okay, so this is done, and okay. Right. Okay, there was like Demon Slayer. Didn't heard about it, like never saw this. If you never saw Demon Slayer, give it a try. It's a really worthy watch, even if you don't like the story for real. The art direction and just like the aesthetic is something that like you need to check out. Like the beauty of Shinobu Koso. Actually, I really love the breathing technique of Shinobu and her presence in Demon Slayer. So I'm actually curious to kind of like know, like get to know more a little bit about this character. And yeah, let's check this out. Subscribe to Maddie, not the bad guy. Leave a like, share the love.
When it comes to slaying demons in Kimetsu no Yaiba, demon hunters only have a certain amount of weaknesses that they can exploit during their hunts, with the most used of these weaknesses being the sun, with many members resorting to either exposing demons to direct sunlight, or decapitating them with a Nichiren blade, or a changing color blade, with the latter of the two methods requiring an immense amount of physical strength, as demons have extremely thick necks that only get thicker the more powerful they are. So, with the weaker bodied members of the demon slaying corp, they need to find new and creative ways to kill demons. And the best example of this is the mistress of poison herself, Shinobu Kocho, the insect pillar.
This is cool. This is cool.
This video contains spoilers for Kimetsu no Yaiba up to the most current chapter in the manga as of this video's release. So if you aren't caught up with the manga, and you don't want to be spoiled, watch this video at your own discretion. Shinobu Kocho is one of the top skilled demon slayers in the Demon Slayer Corps, achieving the title of Pillar, though she is a unique case, as she likely inherited her position as a pillar from her late sister, acting as her Sugoku or successor, as Shinobu herself lacks the strength to behead a demon, let alone any of the higher moon demons. which is a requirement for becoming a pillar. Though she does have a workaround for her weakness, and it's one that she developed on her own through her own medical expertise. So it is always possible that Shinobu herself slayed up to 50 demons to earn her title as a pillar, but it is more likely that she inherited it from her sister, as a lot of Shinobu's character is all about her inferiority complex and the burden of feeling like she has to be someone she's not. Though, but before we get too into that, we should discuss the meaning behind her name. So Shinobu Kocho is a pretty simple name. First you have her given name, Shinobu, which is a dictionary term for the word shinobi or ninja, with Shinobu usually being used as a more feminine version of the word. And Shinobu seems to have been given this name due to the fighting style she had assigned to her, with it mimicking the ninjas of real life, with her excelling in speed and stealth, allowing her to
This is really stupid, but like, yeah, it makes sense. Shinobu, Shinobi, yeah, no, like...
appear and disappear without a noise, and being stealthy enough to sneak up on both people who have enhanced senses, along with demons. But also, this mixes well with her uses of assassination tools, like poison, to compensate for her being less effective in direct combat, as Shinobi and ninja of real life would use a multitude of tools for the exact same reason. Then you have Shinobu's family name, Kocho, which directly translates to butterfly, hence why her estate is called the Butterfly Estate, and why her and her sister Kane had a butterfly aesthetic to their designs. But it also plays into Shinobu's own fragileness.
I really like the AI aesthetic of Shinobu. Like, it's just a vibe, you know, like, but it's a cool vibe. It's a beautiful vibe, I believe.
Given her weak body, as she is metaphorically as weak as a butterfly, which was the inspiration for her own unique demon-slaying style, the Breath of the Insect. Breath of the Insect is a slaying style that, due to its unique case, is not about cutting or slicing, but more about thrusting and stabbing, with a heavy focus on fluid movements and speed. And due to it being invented by Shinobu, the Nichiren blade does not change colors for a wielder of this style. It's also a style that derives from both the Breath of the Water and Breath of Flower, given that bugs require both to survive, and her sister was a Breath of the Flower user, so Shinobu learned from her from some degree. Now, unlike her pillar peers, this breath style does not have any forms or styles that it works off of. Instead, it's a variety of dances, given that movement is a key component in the Breath of the Insect. In fact, a lot of what Shinobu does seems to be based on the logic that shot Cassius Clay, also known as Muhammad Ali, into mega stardom in boxing. That being, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, the hands can't hit what the eye can't see. So, let's start with her first dance, that being the Dance of the Butterfly, Caprice. The Dance of the Butterfly is an attack in which the user lunges towards a target with a swift single motion, striking them 3 to 4 times, injecting them with poison on each strike, though the motion itself is supposed to leave the target bewildered to some degree, and almost in a blissful ignorant state before both the effects of the strike and poison take hold. Thus, Shinobu named it Caprice, which is a sudden and uncontrollable change in behavior, which also fits thematically with the scene in which it takes place, as before the attack, Shinobu talks to the demon like she's going to befriend it, keeping up a cheery smile all the while before unleashing a painful and sudden barrage of strikes, leaving the demon writhing on the ground as the poison takes its life. Then next you have the Dance of the Bee Sting, True Flutter, which is a single strike attack in which the user
really
dashes
cool.
forward at an extreme speed, stabbing a target once with a piercing blow to the head that they cannot block. This attack is used to inject a large dose of poison directly into a single area on a demon. The name and use of the attack seems to be based on how an actual bee's sting works. As you see, bees, specifically honeybees, when they sting something they perceive as a threat, due to the shape of their stingers, they have a high chance of hurting themselves when they pull out, usually ripping out their stomachs along with the stinger, making most bee stings a one-time use for the creature, though the stinger does leave behind a bit of venom in the wound, causing a stinging pain, thus the name Stinger. And thus, the attack based off a bee sting is a single strike which leaves behind a high dose of poison. Then the next dance in Shinobu's arsenal is the Dance of the Dragonfly Compound Eye Hexagon, which is an attack that seems to be a combination of both the bee sting and butterfly dance, which the user dashes forward and strikes a target in 6 different vital spots, piercing through or going around any defense. The purpose of this attack seems to be increasing the amount of poison flowing through a target's body, in hopes of increasing the chance of crippling them. Now this attack seems to be based on a few different things, starting first with the compound eye part of the name, which is based on the multi-layered eyes seen in insects like dragonflies. The purpose of these eyes being that it allows the insect to see in a multitude of directions independently from...
This is really like detailed when like with all these references. I didn't knew that Demon Slayer was so deep into like their characters and within like the symbolism that they are shaped in. Like, this is really cool. Like,
and this is interpreted through how Shinobu looks for and targets multiple vital parts when striking with this attack. And the dragonfly aspect of this attack seems to be based on a dragonfly's own unique movement pattern, with Shinobu's multiple strikes coming out really quickly, seeming to match up well with the dash or zigzag motion of a dragonfly's movement. But most importantly, throughout Japanese history, the dragonfly has become sort of a symbol of agility, bravery, and overcoming adversity, having its name literally translate to the victory insect, which matches quite well with the context of the story in which Shinobu uses this move, as she is pulling out all the stops to try to put down one of the High Moon demons, who keeps commenting on her bravery and determination throughout the fight, while also seemingly mocking her and showing false compassion for her actions. And when we later get the context that Shinobu knew going into this fight that she would die, you understand the true bravery of these attacks, with her luring Doma into a false sense of security. Though this wasn't her final attack, no, that belongs to the Dance of the Centipede 100-legged zigzag, which is an attack that utilizes the user's full speed, as they move in a zigzag pattern to build up momentum along with making themselves nearly impossible to follow, and ending with a final piercing strike to the neck, with an injection of poison along with the built-up momentum moving both the target and the user up into the air at full speed. Now, the name of this attack seems to be based off the Japanese centipede, which roams through Japan hunting small prey and fending off predators with its own poison. And the movement pattern of the Japanese centipede is that of a zigzag shape, which harkens back to the zigzag motion of Shinobu's attack. It also appears that in Japanese mythos, the centipede represents that of immortality and pure evil, which is exactly what Shinobu is fighting with this attack. And it also may be in reference to Omokade, the Japanese yokai, which is a massive poisonous centipede, which was slain by having an arrow pierce its eye, which I bring up only due to the importance of the eyes of Doma, as the eyes of Doma are very special, as they are this beautiful rainbow color, along with demonstrating what rank of High Moon he is. And also during this fight, his eye area is often used to demonstrate the effects of Shinobu's poison during the fight, and is the first place pierce when she attacks with her Nichiran during the fight. And of course the fact that the arrow that pierces Omakade's eye only crippled him and he had to be hacked apart afterwards, which is very similar to the fate of Doma. Earlier I mentioned Shinobu's Nichiran,
this is really
which is
cool.
a blade specially designed to work specifically with Shinobu's style, having most of the blade completely removed, leaving just a sliver of it at the base and the tip of the sword. It resembles actually more of a needle or a stinger than a sword, and given its purpose is to inject things with poison, that makes sense. Though it can only deliver up to 50 milligrams of poison at a time, when she sheaths it, it reloads, as she specially modified her sword sheath. Though this isn't any ordinary poison that she loads into her sword, it's actually a special compound made by Shinobu herself, which heavily focuses on wisteria toxins, which is a flower that wards off demons due to it smelling awful to them and being poisonous for them to consume. The reason for this being seems to be based on both the fact that wisteria plants actually have a bit of toxicness in their seeds that are poisonous to humans as well, but also the Japanese lore about the wisteria plant being the flower of life and having a sweet and intoxicating aroma. So those who throw away their humanity feel the reverse effects of this plant. Though Shinobu's medical expertise doesn't just stop at creating poison, she's also incredibly talented at crafting medicine and doing thorough body exams on people. But most impressively, Shinobu is also capable of extreme body modification, as she heavily altered her own body, infusing her bloodstream with wisteria poison, making it toxic to all those who drank it. And with help of the demon Dr. Tamayo, she was able to go beyond just her blood, grafting this poison to every fiber of her body, mixing it not only with her internal organs, but even her own cellular makeup. And the reason that Shinobu felt the need to resort to such an extreme level of body modification, even though she says herself that she doesn't understand the lasting consequences of the procedure, is because of how fragile and small her body actually was. Because you see, Shinobu's small body is a big part of her character. This lack of physical strength and size makes her life immensely more difficult. She always has been too small or too weak and had to sit and watch as people she loved died, be it her family, her sister, or even her own successors. And this helplessness helped Shinobu realize how fragile happiness was, describing happiness as resting on a thin sheet of glass, and once broken, it cannot be fixed. But in losing her own happiness, she realized how many people have yet to lose theirs, how many people's glass is yet to break, and thus she wanted to hunt down demons that destroyed lives and protect those that still had happiness, making a promise to Kane to try to end this bloodshed as quickly as possible, though this promise became more of an obligation to Shinobu, as when it comes to killing demons, it's not a if you can, but more of a thing you have to do. Though again, due to her small size, no matter how hard Shinobu struggled, she was not great at demon slaying, causing her to damn her own body and idolizing people like Yome for their massive physical strength. And this caused her to develop a bit of a bitter personality, becoming somewhat sadistic and blunt in conversations. She was developing a bit of a inferiority complex, and she was really letting it show. Though, after the death of her sister, Shinobu's outward appearance changed. Not only did she don the uniform of her late sister, but she also adopted her personality as well, wearing a big fake smile and trying to achieve her sister's goal of living at peace with demons, even though she didn't fully agree with it. But inside, the inferiority complex only festered and grew more and more, made worse by the dying words of Kane, begging her sister to quit the demon slaying corp and maybe trying to settle down and get married to achieve that happiness that they had lost. Because even though she tried her very hardest to keep up with everyone else, she would lose to the demon that killed Kane. Though Kane never actually finished that last part, Shinobu believes she held back her final words as not to hurt her. These words caused Shinobu's own inferiority complex to fester and twist into fury and anger inside her. This anger that she let out on the demons that she hunted, offering them false salvations before melting them with torturous poison and viewing all demons as scum, falsely championing her sister's dream of living at peace with them. Though, after meeting Nezuko and Tenjiro, her mindset changed. She felt that her sister's dream might actually be more achievable than she originally thought. Along with this, Tanjiro helped her become more self-aware of her own anger, seeing through her false smile and asking her if she's angry. This self-awareness helped Shinobu sort of overcome a mental hurdle in her own mind, so much so that in her near-death state when fighting Doma, she perceives this aberration of Kane that appeared after she reflected on the final words that had been haunting her for so long. Though instead of this spirit telling her to run or quit the demon corp, instead it encourages her sister, telling her that she needs to defeat this demon. This spirit, in a way, was Shinobu accepting her own flaws and pushing her body past its limits, striking Doma with one final attack, and during her final moments, she finally accepts herself for what she is. And in accepting herself, she accepts what she has to do, allowing herself to be completely absorbed by Doma, dying inside him. Though, she does not die a useless death, as due to the previously established extreme body modification, Shinobu forced Doma to willingly ingest 82 pounds of poison, which is 70 times the amount needed to kill the average demon. And though the poison took a bit to kick in, once it did, it fully circulated throughout Doma's body and began to melt him down to the bone, leaving him in a crippled and almost defenseless state, allowing her final successor, Kano, to claim the head of the number 2 Upper Moon demon. This moment was such a beautiful ending to Shinobu as a character, because through her hard work and determination, she was able to take her biggest flaw, her weak body, and turn it into an ultimate weapon against demons. She may never have been able to decapitate Doma on her own, but she is able to claim the victory from beyond the grave. Her only regret being that the poison that put him down wasn't solely her creation. And this whole arc that she goes through in the story is what makes Shinobu such a great character in Kimetsu no Yaiba.
It is
someone who's tragic yet enjoyable to watch, beautiful but absolutely terrifying, and has some of the best back and forth with characters in the series, learning how to tease them in ways that really get to them, or play with their emotions to help suit her benefit. Hopefully, we get to see more of her in stories like one-shots that happen before the events of the story, or maybe even seeing her and Kane hunting a demon together. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more videos
this
like
was awesome. Makes me love Shinobu even more. What the fuck? Really awesome. Thank you so much, Matty, for the video. Don't forget to leave a like and to share the love. Mythic Dungeon International Midnight 2026 trailer. I'm actually not watching this type of content, not at all. I saw it like even after I started playing doing Mythic Plus. Like I cannot really follow exactly, but I also must admit that I didn't took the time to kind of like invest myself to care. So let's check it out. I don't know if I'll have even the time to kind of like cover it, but like I'm just curious to see how Blizzard will promote the Mythic Dungeon of Midnight. Let's check this out. Okay, Mythic Dungeon International basically likes to show the dungeons. Like, it's cool because, like, technically, if you never cared about Mythic Plus and care about, like, esports, like, it's a good presentation to someone who actually never saw these. Mythic, like the Mythic Dungeon International is not the world to race first or a big patch, so it's not that much hype. But I'm quite happy that like Blizzard is still hyping it up for a beautiful trailer, just to make it like to celebrate it. So I'm really happy about that. If you never saw it, like it's interesting. It's not my content. I actually never got the time to kind of like get into it, like I said. But yeah, cool for Blizzard. Good move, I think. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. This was a fun stream. Yeah, this was a fun stream. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Tarek, for blessing my stream by coming by. I'll see you another time, and as always, be toxic.